Now, this week on Area Code, we shall be focusing on the country's largest single housing development project, that is the Nyayo estate Embakasi, which has won not one but 2 awards, including an international one. We shall be focusing on the module used here for estate management that focuses on sufficient handling of waste management, including water supply. What makes Nyayo estate so lucrative among Nairobi residents? Let's find out on this week's episode of Area Code. It stands on a vast piece of land, almost begging anyone willing to have a look to notice it. They line up decently like a stack of bricks. It's a housing development project that has now turned into a home for those hoping to raise their families in a decent neighborhood. On this episode, the residents of Nyayo Estate Embakasi open their gates to you. This is the place where order, laws and community work side by side for the benefit of all. Nyayo Estate stands tall as the largest housing development project in the history of Kenya. The estate is an idea that was conceptualized by the Kenyan government through the National Social Security Fund in 1998, with construction of Phase 1 of the estate kicking off the next year. Phase 1 was to have 1,156 housing units at a cost of approximately 5.5 billion shillings.
And we are happy, we are proud for KTN to come here to find and to see our estate. Yeah, most welcome.
Thank you very much. Ephantus Njeru moved into the estate after completion of Phase 1, just before construction of Phase 2 began.
This estate ilianza 1999 na lengo yake ilikuwa for middle class people.
What was at the time dubbed the ultra-modern flagship government project was appropriately named Nyayo Estate, following the rallying call and famous catchphrase by the then head of state, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The project would be so successful, many Nairobians would scramble for a piece of the pie that was at the time the country's most modern houses.
Ninakumbuka tukiuza Phase 2, tulikuwa na very big problem because tulikuwa na only 600 units.
In Phase 2?
In Phase 2. Because Phase 1 ilipoisha, tukakunja tukaitengeneza ikawa watu wakapenda sana. In Phase 2, in fact, we had to call the police watusaidie kutoa wanunuzi because we had only 600 units na kulikuwa na more than 3,000 people. They started lining up from actually 4 a.m. They were on the line. Na hizo nyumba walienda first come first. That's how we did.
In essence, demand for the houses exceeded supply, and therefore subsequent phases were constructed to accommodate the growing list of homeowners. Now, Nyayo Estate is a vast metropolis with 5 phases housing close to 40,000 residents. The housing project is owned by the National Social Security Fund and consists of 3-bedroomed apartments and maisonettes, which are sold off to buyers on a mortgage basis.
So you've been a resident here 10 years?
10 years, yes.
Engineer George Gashoki is one of the people who managed to purchase a house and has lived here for a decade now. And his long stay within the estate has seen him voted as the chairman of this court, one of the over 24 courts that exist in Nyayo Estate.
What do you think makes Nyayo Estate different from any other estate in Nairobi?
One, everybody is everybody's keeper. Yes, it's a everybody is going to gated community arrangement. This idea of living alone is a challenge because you are on your own. I lived where I knew the neighbor's children and the car. I didn't know the neighbor. for a very long time, close to 20 years. Here, even the children know I'm the chairman. They even know who to talk to in case of anything.
The entire estate has 4,774 housing units, making it the country's largest single-dwelling housing project ever and the continent's second largest housing area after Nigeria's Gwarinpa estate with 5,700 units. So large is Nyayo area that even though the estate is owned by the National Social Security Fund, it is run by two independent real estate management firms. The first is Kiragu and Mwangi Limited, who took over running of the estate in the early 2000s and manage Nyayo Estates Phase 1, 2 and 3.
Yet we have to check you, follow you, monitor what is happening.
Ephantus Njeru is the man whose shoulders the smooth operation of the area rests upon. With over 12,000 residents within his jurisdiction, Ephantus tells me that the only way the estate has been able to maintain its image is because of a strict set of rules laid out for the residents here.
Some of these rules is that we don't allow people to be nuisance to others. We would like every family to enjoy your stay, because you cannot just afford when you buy a house here and you cannot sleep.
So wait, assume I'm a resident here.
Yeah.
I want to have maybe
Now,
a graduation party.
If you want to have that, first of all, you come to the office, we give you an okay with the conditions that your party should not be nuisance, and every neighbor must be knowing that you have a party, which they have to agree, because as we work as a team with the residents. Even in the resident, we have those committee teams. We have chairman and their team.
So I have to.
So we have to consult them for them to also to allow you, and also those committees, all those parties must be controlled. You don't expect to bring like thousands or hundreds of people in your house, because even if you have many friends, you go outside the hotel. But here there is a number where we can allow and which we cannot allow.
House parties in Nyayo Estate are not allowed past 7 p.m. and that is not all. Motorbike operators are not allowed within the estate, and no more than 19 shops exist within the whole landscape, with each shop located strategically along various courts. If you want to move out of Nyayo Estate, then you have to write a letter to the management to inform them about the move, to which they send a security guard to ascertain that all items being moved from your home indeed belong to you.
Just from initial analysis of what you're telling me, it appears managing this particular estate is not as easy as some would think it is.
No. You know, people do not know how handy it is when you are dealing with the people. Remember, like in Nyayo Estate, the way it is, this estate lives all kind of people. From the young trader to a very senior officials here. Governors, senators, members of parliament, lawyers, doctors, name them. They all live in this estate. But the rule number one, when you get in Nyayo Estate, we are all equal. No favors, no double standard. Rules are rules, and everybody has to go by the rules. And the reason why you find that people like senators, governors living here, it is a place where they are totally, they feel they are safe. They are better here than even some areas which the environment where the people go. Actually here they enjoy living here.
It is that same strict code of conduct imposed on the residents of Phase 1, 2 and 3 that is extended even to Phase 4 and 5, where the Value Zone Limited Real Estate Management Company operates.
Because like this one, these are 30,000. Shule zikifunga, you'll get 40,000 people here.
As manager, Wilson Otiato tells me every resident's contact is acquired when they move in and is kept in their database in case of any emergencies. One of the main roles such a management company plays involves safeguarding the use of open spaces within the estate.
Nyayo Estate, when it began as a gated community, is something that was is under what we call the Sectional Properties Act. That is an act that allows for individual ownership of units, but common ownership of the areas called common areas. The act also introduces a vertical element to ownership of properties. For example, a block like this one, somebody can be owning the unit on ground floor, another one on first floor, second floor, fourth floor, that way.
But
each unit is owned
building.
individually, yes. But no one in that building owns the staircases. No one in that building owns the open parking area. No one in that building owns these open spaces. Now, the use and management of these common areas is now where us as the management come in.
Okay.
Because you have to put in place control measures on how these areas will be used.
So it has become apparent that rules, regulations and bylaws here reign supreme, and perhaps that is why Nyayo Estate remains an envy to many. Each court has a designated parking slot for homeowners, and each street has a litter bin where trash is dutifully deposited to keep the estate clean. Not only that, every court has this special area where garbage is collected by the court residents for disposal by garbage trucks when they come twice a week. In our tour of the area, we did not spot a single pothole on the road network that has every street corner well tarmacked. But as we are about to find out after the break, Nyayo Estate, just like any other estate, is not immune to the many challenges that dog gated communities.
There are things that don't happen the way they should happen, but we try. We manage.
A bit of water issues, yeah, at times. But those phase one,